Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. Okay, so we have a pretty interesting thing here. We've had some built-in gutters on this tile reset, that we're gonna have to deal with right now. And what's happened is that the roofing material that went up for the built-in gutter has just rotted out. And so now we need to get that filled in. All right, so we need to tear out the fascia and tear out the 2x6 and add some new board in here to make sure that we get all the wood rot out, because we don't want to leave anything. It just lingers and causes a problem later on down the road. So what was happening is that we have pockets of a lot of damage and pockets where there's no damage. So after discussing it over with the homeowner, we decided the best thing is just give them a really great flat rate and just tear it off, all the fascia in the first board. Because we have pockets where everything's perfect, and then we have bits and pieces where you got rot, good, rot, good, rot, good, and it's too hard to cut and splice. And especially with these rafters in between, they're 4 foot on center, these big beams that we have here. We have some 4x8 joist beams, rafters on this open beam ceiling roof, and so they're a little bit further apart. Otherwise, maybe we could have nickel and dimed it and cut in between the pieces, but these were a little bit longer lengths, so we had to make sure that we get it done right. So let's get a closer look and see what we really actually have to do and what we're getting rid of. So you can see right here, this is really rotted. And right here. So this is what we're dealing with going all the way across. So it's not termite damage, this is more dry rot and fungus. So we have several different types of damage. We have dry rot and termite damage. So on this, we want to make sure we get this off and make sure we get it done right. And as you can see, this goes all the way down. Okay, so let's jump to another side and see the other side, what it looks like before we get the fascia off and the 1x. Okay, so this is what the fascia looks like before. Got it ripped off. On the other side, we've already tore it off, but this is what the built-in gutter looks like. So we have a piece of 2x6 that comes up. So pretty interesting. You gotta get that out. So here's a closer up. You can see it's just completely rotted. And this is what we gotta rip out. So we got rot all the way along, but we can't get that wood out until we tear out the fascia board. So, and a lot of the fascia board is actually in pretty good condition, but we can't leave it, and we can't leave the board. So we have to tear out one to get to the other. So it's the way it is. See the wood rot? It's really soft right there along that edge. Okay. So we're going to get all this ripped off, and we'll get back to you guys in a bit when we get it all tore off and get a better look at what's going on when we get all this wood off. Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. Okay, so as you can see here by this big long run of wood, we got all of our 2x6 spruce fascia board painted, and now we got all of our 2x6 tongue and groove painted as well. And we're going to be getting ready to install that new wood on Monday or next week. So we're excited about that. Everything's all primed and ready to go, which is a great thing. So once again, we're basically replacing the first board, the first piece of 2x6 along the edge all the way around the perimeter and the fascia board. So let's get a closer look and see what we're going to be replacing. So it's this first row right here and the fascia. And then there's a couple rafter boards that we're gonna try to fix for him as well, which should be fun. Okay, so here's the stash of wood. Here's our stash of wood. It's going to be all ready for us when we start getting ready. So we want to keep this all together so we can put a tarp over it to make sure that it doesn't get wet and warp, because we don't want that. So anyways, all right, so we got this all painted, same color as the eave and the underhang of the eaves on the underhang, and everything's looking good. So we'll see you next time on Cover That Roof. Until then, look for us on our next episodes and see what we're doing. Okay? All right. Catch you in a bit. Bye.